What a day. What a day to be alive. What a day to be present. Something along those lines. Hi witchlings, welcome back to my channel. It's your local chaotic witch aunt here, and today we are doing the top 10 best shadow work prompts. If you aren't familiar with shadow work, I really recommend you go watch my basics of shadow work video. It talks about it a little more. You can find that here. Now when I say top 10 best shadow work prompts, I mean like my favorites. And not just my favorites, I actually went online and looked and see what shadow work prompts were available just when you like Googled them and pulled from them. So I didn't pull from, not that I didn't pull from like shadow work prompts that I wouldn't use, but I did like research to see, because I feel like a lot of people when they hear about shadow work for the first time, what they do is they Google it. I feel like when people look up shadow work, or when they hear about shadow work, their first thing is to look it up on the internet, as most people do. So I kind of went through the top like websites that I found and pulled some that I liked. I will put each of these links down below, but I found some that I liked on refinedprose.com, seekingserotonin.com, a 14-day shadow work challenge, and medium.com, 33 journal prompts from a seasoned shadow worker. I think I have a little more than 10 here, but these are some that I feel like are a little bit more heavy. So if you're looking for some kind of more baseline shadow work type stuff, like if you're really just starting off, I would go to my video here, which is like basics of shadow work. This is gonna be a little bit, those are my dogs. This is gonna be a little bit more for those who are in it or have some experience with it already. So they're a little bit heavy. If you are beginning and you feel pulled to some of these, that doesn't mean that you can't do them. So the first one is, how do you feel about who you are as a human? Why? If you want to get fucked up, that's a good one to answer. I like this one because it targets the self and your energy. The next one is, how often do you forgive yourself? What kind of things do you feel you need to be forgiven for? Why is this? I struggle with forgiving myself and being kind to myself, which is particularly why I chose this one. And these two first ones are from seekingserotonin.com. I like them because it centers the self and focuses on the self. I tend to do a lot of shadow work surrounding my own energy and my reactions to things, and my just my body, I guess. Not even body, but like my emotions are pretty big in my shadow work. The next one, how do you perceive failure? What is your definition of failure? How does it make you feel? Are you afraid of it? Why might this be? How did your parents/guardians react to failure? This is like a heavy one because it's not just one question, it's a bunch of questions all grouped together. Defining failure and success is one of those things that I talk to people about a lot in my tarot readings. I'm like, hey, why are you defining this by this? Da, 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 da. I find that it is definitely something that I tend to talk to people about a lot. I had to go blow my nose now. Great. I've returned. Okay. So after our failure prompt, we have, what things are triggers for you? This is more kind of hefty, what I would consider trauma work. Consider where those irrational feelings stem from. I feel like, to me, triggers and irrational feelings are two different things. I still included this because I feel like it's an important topic to explore with yourself. I feel like triggers often have a reason for why we are triggered, whether that's a trauma response or, you know, a past bad experience, where an irrational feeling is more along the lines of like an anxious, intrusive thought. There may not really be a reason for it. Who do you envy? Why? How might you be able to work towards gaining the things they have that you feel jealousy towards? So this one isn't one that I would do myself, only because I don't experience jealousy very often. I used to a lot. I kind of worked through that in my past shadow work, but I put this in because I see a lot of people with jealousy on the internet. Like specifically on TikTok, not on YouTube. I just see people where I'm like, oh, why are you behaving that way? But I think envy and jealousy is something that we really don't talk about experiencing a lot in witchcraft, because it's just kind of glossed over. It's such a negative like thing that no one ever takes the time to really explore why they're jealous or who they're jealous of. And those are, I believe, are from refinedprose.com. The other ones, the next ones, are from the 14-day shadow work challenge, journaling prompts for self-awareness. In honor of publishing this video, I'm actually going to be starting the 14-day prompt. So if you're interested, I will put it down below. I'm going to be doing it, and I'll be vlogging kind of every day my responses to these prompts. Two of the prompts I really enjoy. The first one is, in what ways are you privileged and what do you take for granted? I believe that shadow work is a necessary part of desettling and decentering the white narrative, especially when we're talking about racism, anti-racist work, indigenous sovereignty, Black liberation, etc. Understanding your privilege and how you take advantage of that privilege and how you contribute as a privileged person to white supremacy in our society is really important. And that is a really great jumping off point. Just acknowledging your privilege is step one. This one hit hard. If you truly loved yourself, what would your life look like? Right in the heart. Pain. Is it very different to how it actually is? And if so, why? Man, I'm just gonna let that one sink in real quick. My tea is cold. I'm still gonna drink it. If you are someone who struggles with self-love, which is me, I struggle with self-love. I struggle with being kind to myself. That is an insanely powerful prompt to work through. Oosh. I believe there's 11 prompts in here because I have 4 more. These are all from medium.com, 33 journal prompts from a seasoned shadow worker. What are the worst traits a person can have? Why? Write about how you have demonstrated these traits. Like for example, my worst personal trait that I think people have is hypocrisy. And I have 100% been a hypocrite in the past. Like, these are just super, like, I was very surprised with some of these because they just kind of went for the jugular, and I'm used to kind of dancing around the problem. What behaviors are you most judgmental of? Is your judgment justified? No. Like, it's just, these are such intense feelings for me, and I know they're probably intense for other people as well. Who has the most influence over you? Are they aware of that influence? Is your relationship healthy? That's intense. Yeah, and then we have last one. Write a letter to the person who has hurt you the most in the past 5 years. Consider burning the letter when you're done. I have done that, except I didn't burn the letter, I sent it to him. It's very liberating. I'm sure that it's something that later on I will be embarrassed of, or I felt embarrassment or regret a little bit after, but then I realized that I literally don't care what this person thinks of me anymore, and I meant everything I said. So, I didn't care. I was like, you know what, fuck it. I think the only regret that I felt was like, why did I do that? Why did I give him, you know, that reaction? Or why did I give him the satisfaction of knowing he hurt me? But then I realized that I don't think he was trying to hurt me, And that was the worst part, is that he wasn't attempting to hurt me. He was just like genuinely like didn't care about me and didn't have mindfulness towards me or my emotions. And that is why I sent that letter to him, because I was like, I want you to know how much you hurt me, and fuck you. Never talk to me again. It was a really great closure exercise. Burning it also works. So just to revisit some of these, the reason I chose these is because they hit so hard with me, and they are shadow work prompts that I would probably do except for the envy one. And they are ones that, you know, when I think of them, I think that they are great for everyone to do. Depending on your needs or what you feel like, you know, parts of shadow work you should do, you can go through each of these websites, like I said, linked down below, and see which ones have like the best for you. I did see some repeats. I do think that there is a little bit of borrowing from each other in these articles. I'm definitely doing the 14-day shadow work challenge, journaling prompts for self-awareness, because why not? Why not, you know, do that while I'm starting some intense parts of my life and revisiting old trauma. Woo! You know, I do talk more about shadow work and basics of shadow work, about what it is, how you start it, etc. My answer is always the same for when someone says, how do I start shadow work? I say, get a therapist. But considering how hard it is and how stigmatized mental health care is, especially in the US, I understand if that's not possible for you. My suggestion is do not go into really deep trauma work and shadow work without the help of a mental health professional. A lot of my shadow work I did alongside a therapist, or I found that it was prompted by a lesson from my deities or something that happened and I was forced to kind of confront it and work through it. That's a lot of what working with Shoya was like. But yeah, I very much enjoyed these, and I feel like they are great for people to kind of pull into their own thing, and even just giving people resources for shadow work prompts that I found are really great. But yeah, once again, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you have a shadow work prompt that you really enjoyed, I didn't include, or you found that you are like, this is really good, put it down in the comments, let me know. Like I said, I will be filming, vlogging my 14-day shadow prompt type thing, and we are going to do that. Yeah, thank you so much for watching. If you want, you can like, comment, subscribe, turn the bell on, but absolutely no pressure. Check out my Basics of Witchcraft video and my 10 Best series to see more videos like this. And if you stay till the end of the video, you already know how I feel about you. Have a great rest of your day. Drink water, eat a snack, light a candle, breathe, give yourself space. Sa benedica.